Tonight on Prime Business, government worried about the low tax revenue from windfall of petroleum exports. We'll hear from the Deputy Finance Minister.
We actually imported $2.7 billion. So if you look at it, you think Ghana is a net exporter. But our component out of the $3.9 billion was $500 million.
Plus, cocoa boards to liaise with security agencies to protect cocoa farms devastated by illegal mining.
Also to engage further the security agencies, the law enforcement agencies, and of course the judiciary to ensure that people who engage in this illegal activity, when they are presented before the court, punitive measures or sanctions are meted out to them.
We have all these stories and more lined up for you to stay with us. Hello everyone, welcome. I'm Charles Ayitey. To our first story, government is worried about the low tax revenue from the windfall of exports of petroleum products. The country is expected to earn some tax revenue from the high price of crude oil selling above $100 per barrel. A Deputy Minister for Finance, Dr. John Kuma, says earnings from the windfall of crude oil is woefully inadequate to balance the import of the commodity. He tells Joy Business that although the country is earning some revenue as windfall, it will position itself to generate more in the coming years.
After over 10 years of oil discovery in Ghana, many have projected that this is the best time for the country to earn some extra income on its crude production due to the ongoing conflict in Europe, which has caused a rise in the prices. The development is due to the benchmark of $61 per barrel set by the Minister for Finance in the 2022 budget, which could earn the country some windfall whenever the price is above the benchmark level. However, the country is unable to make any meaningful income from the rise in the crude price due to its import levels. Here is Deputy Minister for Finance John Kuma expressing a concern on why the country couldn't earn much revenue from the situation.
Yes, obviously, but at the same time, you are also losing on your import side. Remember that last year, Ghana did about $3.7 billion of oil. But we actually imported $2.7 billion. So if you look at it, you think Ghana is a net exporter. But our component out of the $3.9 billion was $500 million. So if you are going to import $2.7 billion, then you know that you may have windfall in your 500, but you're losing so much in your imports. So that's the reality of the Ghana situation.
He, however, suggested that efforts by government to get the situation fixed, including getting the Tema oil refinery back on track, will yield some result.
TOR remains one of the strategic institutions of government and will continue not just to revive TOR, but to see how we can even, through the private sector, add on more refinery in the country.
They're still making losses and we are still paying for it.
I think that it's one of the institutions of government that we are seeking to restructure and repositioning to do better.
Meanwhile, the price of crude oil is still trading above $100 globally.
Now, Cocoa Board says it will liaise with the National Security, Joint Police and Military Task Force against illegal mining to protect cocoa farms being ravaged by illegal mining activity. Now, this comes as research by the cocoa regulator reveals that about 80% of selected cocoa farms were destroyed between 2019 and 2020 by illegal mining activity. Head of Public Affairs at Cocoa Board, Fifi Boafo, spoke earlier on the marketplace.
And there was the need for us as state institutions, as partners, work together in addressing the issue. One of the things the Minerals Commission indicated at the meeting was that Cocoa Board should provide data. Of course, you are aware of the cocoa management system where we are taking geographical locations of all cocoa farms. So we make them available to the Minerals Commission, and in giving out licenses to people who go into small-scale mining. Cocoa farms are not given out as places for mining. Also to engage further the security agencies, the law enforcement agencies, and of course the judiciary to ensure that people who engage in this illegal activity, when they are presented before the court, punitive measures or sanctions are meted out to them, and then swiftly to discourage people who feel that, well, they have every right to destroy cocoa farms and then nothing really will happen to them. The collaboration, we believe that we'll be able to yield some result, but it requires more than that. One of the suggestions at the meeting was to also engage other institutions like the Forestry Commission, like the Environmental Protection Agencies, and all those who have some, in one way or the other, some activity to do with regards to ensuring that we deal.
Now, the Deputy Minister for Communications and Digitalization, Amapomwa Boateng, has re-emphasized that government is keen on investing in the safety of the country's cyberspace. This, she believes, will help to attract businesses into the country and support economic growth. The Deputy Minister gave the assurance at an open day event for the beneficiaries in the Girls in ICT initiative. We have more in this report.
Themed Access and Safety, the initiative is aimed at encouraging girls to opt for careers within the information and communication technology space. Girls in ICT Open Day is a week-long program which will see 100 females touring mobile network operators, ICT firms, and interact with women in the workspace. Amapomwa said cyber attacks have serious implications on citizens, especially female users, and the ministry is committed to address the threat.
So many bad things are going on that most of us are not paying attention to. Meanwhile, we have the law in place. So we are promoting it. We've been to some secondary schools in most of the regions. So on our part as a ministry, the Cybersecurity Authority is doing its bit. The non-profits or the civil societies also are promoting it. We as a ministry we started with the girls' high schools because we realized that the girls in the high schools are most often the ones that easily get attacked. We have a 292 number for cybersecurity for parents or guardians or brothers or sisters, any concerned person, to call that number and report of these incidents. Our focus has been on the mobile money fraud and all of that going on, but this is also an aspect that attention has to be given to.
Chief Executive Officer for the Kofi Annan Center of Excellence, Collins Yabua, pledged his outfit commitment to support the girls with free training and job opportunities in the future.
We will be happy to work with the leadership of MOCD for some of you girls to take part in our courses for free. And also, for those who can, to intern and work here during your vacations in the not too distant future. So let me now take some time to congratulate the young ladies who are here. To be here means that you put in effort and your hard work has been recognized. Well done, and keep up the effort.
Some beneficiaries also spoke to Joy Business.
This ICT program has had a lot of impacts in our lives, especially we girls. We never knew that cartoons and all those things were coded, but with this program we now know. This program has also helped us boost our confidence that we can also be part of the digitalization field.
Now, at first I don't know ICT at all, but now I can go to internet, how to Google something. If you want to type a question, now I'm good in typing. I can type fast, and I'm good in ICT too. Scratch desktop like this, I can make a toy walk and then talk.
Girls in ICT is an initiative of the International Telecommunications Union supported by the Ministry for Communications and Digitalization.
Now, the Institute of Chartered Accountants Ghana has tightened its regulation to rid the accounting profession of any bad image. According to the Institute, the emergence of the new Institute of Chartered Accountants Act 2020 mandated to withdraw licenses of members found engaging in unethical practices. Speaking to Joy Business at the 38th graduation and admission ceremony, the president of the Institute, Professor Williams Atwilek, said the new law is binding on every member of the profession.
When the banking crisis came, we we took a look at the role of the profession, and we have repeatedly said that the crisis cannot be blamed on accountants. Okay, it was a governance issue, but the contribution that accountants played, we took a look at it, and where we felt that professional accountants, although they were not the cause of the collapse of the banks, but we felt that they ought to have approached their work in a certain standard way that they did not. We triggered some process that dealt with that one. So we've since dealt with this, and we keep reminding members of the profession they need to be diligent.
That'll be it for Prime Business with me, Charles Ayitey. For more news, log on to myjoyonline.com. Please stay with Joy News because we have Prime Sports coming up shortly.